We have three cases on the agenda, but before we start, under correspondence, the last case, ZO 2026-12, She Designs LLC, care of Todd Leith at Leith Law LLC, is being removed from the agenda. Petitioner, at our request, is going to work with staff more to work out more details before they appear before this body. Okay. So for today, we just have the top two cases. The first case is MI 2025-28, Raymond Goff, the Goff South Minor Subdivision, North County Road 250 West, Valparaiso, Indiana, in Center Township, currently zoned R1, low density single family residential. Acreage is 14. The request is a primary plat group proposed 3-lot subdivision. Do we have a representative, Goff?
Yes.
You come up to the table and state your name, address, and why you're here. Is the green light on the microphone?
It is.
Okay, thank you.
My name is Arnie Goff. My address is 254 West, 456 North, Valparaiso, Indiana. We're here to receive approval for primary plat for a minor subdivision.
And this property has some history to it, does it not?
It does. This is the second time it's been through the primary plat.
Susan, maybe if you could come to one of the microphones, please. What I'd like to do for this one here, since it has been here before, is had a long trek to get here.
Yes.
I would like maybe Susan, for the record, kind of explain how they got here and exactly what we're doing today.
Yeah, so as Arnie said, they did previously achieve primary plat. However, they did not achieve secondary plat within the 2-year time frame, and it did expire. They reapplied in 2025. It went through a series of planning and engineering reviews. They did not have to reappear for variances because variances were granted in November of 2020 during their first run through primary plat. However, they were able to achieve planning conformance, both Goff North and Goff South, on May 14th of this year.
And as far as the access, that was a discussion during the process. Did that get worked out?
They did receive variances in November of 2020 relating to access through the minor subdivision rules.
Is there a way you can verbally describe that?
I believe they asked for relief from the requirement that private roads serving 4 or more lots need to be built to a higher standard, as well as provide access for connectivity. However, the parcels to the north are part of a subdivision, and to the west are part of a subdivision, and to the south has a single family home on it. And that was one of the things that they requested variances from, was those standards.
Very good. Before we go to members on the panel, I want to read into the record Kevin Breitsky could not attend today. And for your, I don't know if you got a notepad, take some notes. For some reason, the topo layer was left off the copies that were emailed. So in other words, I'm assuming there's contours and other features on the site. I suggest that the applicant commit to a driveway agreement for maintenance and upkeep of the access of all the lots for both the north and south, which we'll talk about next. Likewise, I believe the petitioner should have a document for all lots committing to shared expenses for maintenance and upkeep of the pond in addition to operation and maintenance. I would suggest aeration such as a fountain be included. Finally, do we need a centerline drawing on County Road 250 West for site distance at the drive entrance? I'll let the highway engineer address that. Since I don't have a drawing with contours, I can't be certain. Also, I would suggest the Liberty Fire Chief have an opportunity to comment on the plan of private drive access to the High Five houses. Finally, can we be certain that mail, newspaper, waste management, etc. will use the private drive? Will school buses be willing to be dropped off by kids by the private drive? In any event, excuse me. In any event, I suggest the drive at the very least have tapers for acceleration, deceleration. We'll address that in the comments. Because today could be an approval. So the board members know. It's not an informal meeting. So with those questions in there, if you guys want to build on Kevin's comments, we'll start with David.
Yes, thank you for Goff South. Again, this had already achieved engineering conformance back under its prior submittal. We received the updated submittal on October 9th of 25, and after a series of 3 engineering reviews, engineering conformance letter was written by myself on April 28th, 2026. Included in the comments of I believe the ingress-egress has already been established in the submittal. I know that was a common comment on the engineering letters, was to get all that established. I would note that staff had inspected under the primary conformance and found that there were still aspects of the common infrastructure that needed to get buttoned up. Do you know if that's taken place, if those corrections have been made since then?
On the drawing or out physically?
Physically.
On the property?
Yes.
I can't remember exactly which.
Those are comments that would have come from Tom McNabb. He's still with our office, but in a different role. He had done an inspection a few years back.
Was that for the drive?
Predominantly, it was related to the drive. That's correct.
Addressed. Yeah.
Okay. That would be something that staff would inspect again once you were going for secondary. Essentially, it's something that verifies that somebody's not being sold a lot to nowhere.
Yeah.
So it just shows that dimensionally, all that is the dimensions. The highway department would look at the area within the right of way. Myself or Kelly would inspect the area beyond the right of way to make sure that dimensionally there's conformance, the depth of the sections. Do you all have details related to the materials and the depth used for the drives?
We have details on the drawings, and then so we either used 53s or recycled asphalt.
Okay. Let's see. Another thing that came up pretty often in the comments was the vision clearance triangle. I'm assuming that would be something, again, that would be inspected upon secondary. With you being here, I wanted to point that out to you.
Dave, could we go back to that recycled asphalt comment? What was that regarding?
The private drive. I think that's what it was used. Well, I haven't done the inspection yet, but there was inspections done prior, and there were comments from Tom about what I think most of Tom's comments were related to dimensionally what had already been done so far.
Mm-hmm.
And there were some things that needed to get updated. Are you inquiring? I'm assuming you're inquiring about the area within because there were 2 different details. There was a detail that was used for the area within the right-of-way, and then a detail related to the area outside of the right-of-way on the private drive.
So the private drive still needs to be processed stone. Milled asphalt is not acceptable for that as a surface.
Okay.
I mean, it would differ from what they have in their plan as well.
Okay. And I believe, if I remember from the photographs from Mr. McNabb's report a couple years ago, I think it was stone, but it's been a long time since I've seen that report.
There is stone, and then there are some areas that are touched up or have been leveled off with recycled asphalt. Well, ground asphalt. So.
Okay. So again, that's not what we're discussing today. Just putting it out there to you that would be that we would need to make sure the details were followed for the roadways that are there. But again, that's prior to secondary conformance. Again, a vision clearance triangle. Make sure that that's being that those requirements are being satisfied. I'm not saying they're not. That's something that you'll want to look at prior to, and we'll let you know when our office is going to be doing the inspections for the common infrastructure. Let me make sure I didn't have any other comments on South. Yeah, most of our comments are related to the current condition of those drives.
For the record, David, you have not issued full conformance yet?
Only primary conformance, that's correct.
Okay.
That's only a single drive, right? It goes, it serves both.
Yes, it kind of meanders north into the other subdivision, but we made sure that the verbiage included addressed the fact that it was to serve all of the lots in both subdivisions. Again, this was if I recall correctly, I think this was being done right around the time that I got to Porter County. I think that if some folks had a mulligan again as to how this was classified, I think they would take that opportunity. But again, it is two separate subdivisions that are adjoining each other, but there is one common private drive that services all of them. And like it did complicate the language in the agreements, but I believe both now do address the fact that all of the included homes use the private drive. And looking at this, yes, at this time, that's all the comments that I have.
Just to clarify for the record, Dave, is you're looking at your last review letter being 28/2026?
Yes.
And you say in there it appears to conform to ESC standards, stormwater management, and design and construction standards.
Yes.
And then you go on and talk about that they're for both properties and all. So is really what you're saying is you need to address other things before the secondary plat is approved?
They would need to do things prior to secondary conformance, correct? We would have to inspect to make sure that those were done, and we have not done those inspections.
So it's just simply the inspection. You're not saying he hasn't done anything. He has to get those done before.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Just for the record.
I believe that again, it's been claimed that it's done. But we have not done a follow-up inspection yet in light of this meeting today.
Very good. Thanks for clarifying.
Yes.
Anything else?
Not at this time.
Thank
I
you.
might jump in again if something else comes up, but I think those were the predominant things that we were looking at.
Very good. Thanks, Dave.
Thank you.
Dan?
Yeah, so soil borings were completed on the property. We've conducted on-sites for all the proposed lots. We've provided specs, and everything will be, soils will support septic systems. Appears like there's enough fall for drainage on the lots. There's some things with maybe the front lot, that first lot in the front with the building on it, outletting into that pond, but we'll address that when they apply for a permit for septic, but I don't really have any other major concerns.
Thanks, Dan. Martin?
I'll echo what Kevin Braidsky brought up in his email, that due to the amount of traffic on this roadway, an axle decel lane would be having tapers for axle and decel would be my recommendation on this.
Could you clarify what that would look like, Martin?
So that would be per standard, our county standards drawing for acceleration deceleration lanes
On the county road?
on the county road.
Aren't there issues with the wetlands on either side?
Is there?
Yeah, I think they're pretty close.
I think on the north side, definitely.
They appear to be outside of the right of way that it would be within.
Okay, so they could do that within the.
Uh,
I just know it.
It appears to on the paper, but I can't say for sure. You'd have to look at your wetlands report.
There was standing water like a couple weeks ago, but with the lack of rain lately, it's probably gone down.
Yeah.
I know it gets pretty close to the edge of the page.
Yeah.
So would the XL decel lane just be on their side of the property where they do own the right of way?
Correct. Yeah, not a
Or adjacent to their property?
correct on the west side of 250.
And there is a deed of dedication, or has that already been taken place?
That is included in these plats.
Because I can't see this.
Yeah, on both subdivisions, they have dedicated right of way 40 foot from center line.
So that would be asphalt to our standards.
Correct. That would be the county road standard.
So is that a condition?
That is a condition for me. And then without the contours, I can't tell for culvert requirements either. So I would like to see that included prior to
Would you be willing to accept the primary plat and that be a condition of the secondary?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And then just a further comment that previously when the variances were granted, with the way that the plan review letter was stated, we do believe it conforms. We're following the advice that the plan review letter gave for which variances were required. I reviewed that with Susan. I just had some concern about the 60-foot wide easement requirement, but per our letters that we gave, I do believe I agree with Susan that we're following the advice of those letters and direction that we gave. Yeah, that's all the comments I had at this time.
Very good. Thanks, Mark. Rich, do you have any comments?
I couldn't, when I read Kevin's email, the site distance thing caught me. And I don't remember where the humps are there, but I thought that was pretty flat in there only because of the wetland, the water right up against the pavement.
I believe
both
that's
sides.
I believe that's right.
So that was my,
And having those contours on there will show us better.
should be pretty flat.
Yeah.
And just for the record, to make sure that we're on the same page, especially in light of what your family does for a living, that would be for them to do that work. They would come in to get a permit to work within the right of way to put that down. Correct?
Yes, they would need a right of way permit in order to construct that XL decel lane.
Okay. Very good.
Thank you, Dave. Where's the drive on this? Right there. It looks pretty flat.
And so I'm assuming you guys would be self-performing that work.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I imagine so.
Okay.
And
Sometimes when folks do self-performance, they kind of forget that step. That you know how to do it. So I'm not saying you don't know how to do it, but just make sure that you come in and get that, so all that can be coordinated with highway.
Okay. Anything else, Mark or Rich?
Oh, that was it.
Susan, anything else to add? Do you have any questions for us?
Not at this time. No.
Okay. So maybe I recap because a lot was thrown at you. First, the drive. Go ahead, Rich.
Are we doing? We started out with north. Are we doing both these at the same time?
No, we're doing south. We're doing south first.
Just want to make sure.
And south's got the access to 250. All right. Processed stone, no recycled asphalt for the driveway. We need to verify the vision triangle for entryway out onto 250 west from your driveway. Inspection has to be done by engineering to confirm that certain things were done before we go to secondary plat. Matter of fact, a lot of this stuff will be revolving around secondary plat approval, meaning they'll have to be done. But we'll need to confirm that all the required site elements are complete before the secondary plat. It's the request that deceleration lane according to our standards for your driveway access on the west side of 250 be put in place. You will need a right-of-way permit to do any culverts or any approach work to your driveway, plus these deceleration lanes. And we'd like to see some contours as the surveyor and the highway engineer requested, so we can evaluate, especially at the roadway, whether or not the adequacy of your culverts and ditches, etc. Does that pretty much encapsulate what everybody said? So, there are no further. You have any questions on those?
Nope.
Okay. Would someone like to make a motion and rather than repeating everything I said, just make reference to that?
Yeah, motion to approve subject to the just stated list of requirements.
Second.
Any other discussion? All's in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Companion to this, and we probably addressed kind of the heavy lift on that because it doesn't include the driveway except driveway access to personal property. The next case is MI 2025-29. Applicant again is Raymond Goff. This is the Goff North Minor Subdivision. Same location, 250 West, Valparaiso, Indiana, Center Township. Again, R1, low density, single family residential district. This parcel currently is 8 acres. Today we're here for a primary plat approval for the proposed 2-lot subdivision. Susan, anything else to add on this one before we start? It's pretty much same story. Very good, thank you. David?
Yeah, so we are on North now. North, again, was previously had conformance. The reapplication also came in on October 9th, 2025. A separate conformance letter, engineering conformance letter, was written for Goff Minor North. Also on April 28th, 2026. All of my same notes as before related to the public and or common improvement requirements in order to move on to secondary would still stand. So that would include the dimensional requirements with this drive servicing both sides or both subdivisions. So again, we'd be looking at dimensional requirements, entrance radii, vision clearance triangle, materials and details being followed for the roads. Basically everything that we just said for south would also apply to this. That's all I have.
When you say the vision triangles, are you talking about each of the individual drives when they connect to spine, or are you just talking on?
No, just the intersection with the county road.
That wouldn't apply on this lot because it does. We've created that baseline. The drive is on the south parcel.
Right. Yeah, they're both mentioned. They're both mentioned within the ingress egress. But to your point, yeah, it's on one side of the line. But
yes,
again, this did complicate the easement verbiage.
Understood. Thank
you.
Oh, that was. Go ahead. Anything else?
No, sir.
Dan?
Similar to my comments on south, soil boring's completed. We've done on-site soils will support septic, and don't really have much else beyond that.
Very good, thank you. Martin?
I would just say that pretty much all my comments are reflected from the South Minor subdivision because they would apply to this one as well for any drive requirements. And then I'll reiterate Kevin Breitsky's point that a maintenance agreement amongst all the lot owners is definitely mandatory.
We didn't add that in the conditions of the other one.
Correct. So I think we should probably include that in this one. With to Dave's point of how complicated the easement verbiage gets with this setup, it'd be very hairy for the lot owners to navigate this in the future if they didn't have something binding. So I think it'd be in everyone's best interest if that happened.
Because right now the plan is for all lots to be owned by family, correct?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. So yeah, this may not seem like a thing now, but down the road when it may not be. That's gonna.
Oh, trust me, I did that with my family. I'm here to tell you it's a problem.
And that's all my comments.
Thank you. Rich, do you have anything further to add?
We are pretty sure that they have that on the plat. We worked with the language there to make sure that it said that lots from both subdivisions are responsible for maintaining the private road. We've kind of worked with them a little bit back and forth on the language there.
I believe that's correct.
Okay. The owners of lots created free to keep such egress free from the state.
So it's not a separate easement document.
No, it would be on the secondary plat, just similar to a utility easement or a drainage easement.
And I believe it's stated on both.
Yeah.
I believe it's identical on both of them.
On both subdivisions, and it's on will be on the secondary plat that will be recorded.
And Rich, is there a nexus between the two lots to bind them together?
Yeah.
Okay.
The statement appears on both subdivision plats.
But does each plot
Yeah.
recognize the other ones?
Yeah.
Yes.
It says lots 1, 2, and 3 of Gulf North and lots 1 and 2 of Gulf
Very
North.
good.
However,
It doesn't. It's easy.
I'm not seeing it in there at this time, Susan, but I could be missing it. I'm going through it. It's
It's a little teeny, right?
lots created with this instrument agree. Okay.
commitments.
That one.
And that same statement somewhere. Right.
If you want to change something, you can.
Okay, no, I think that's totally adequate.
This could be incorporated. That's which one?
There as well.
But that would,
Yeah,
to me, this has a little more strength than those.
I would agree.
A couple of comments.
It's commitments.
Commitments,
So I mean,
I guess commitments are.
it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you read that?
Yeah. Sure. So yeah, what's currently on the primary plat is commitment 1, lot 1 and 2 of Gulf North, and lot 1, 2, and 3 of Gulf South shall be responsible for the maintenance and upkeep of the entirety of private road 456 North. I'd say that's pretty clear cut and covers the responsibility in the future.
Let me ask this question. We just did a case where we vacated a driveway/utility easement. How are all these properties getting their utilities? Does that driveway easement also include a utility easement to get to them?
It does.
Common.
I just want to be sure.
Yeah, that was actually a comment in the second review letter that I think what happened was with how long this project has been around that their consultant accidentally included something from a previous version and we caught that the language changed. But I believe that all of them now are listed as utility as well.
Correct.
Find them.
And this one does have on the description in the plan view 30-foot ingress egress and utility easement.
Very good. Just want to be sure. Susan, any additional comments? Rich?
The pond that's on that site.
I was just going to bring that up.
Oh, pond maintenance. Craig, Kevin brought that up too.
And I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the outlet is, whether it's a tile. I just remember when they first started. Let me back up. About 8 years ago, I met with John Gast, who lived to the north of the house that's there now.
Mm-hmm.
And it was relative to the water on either side of the road. And John claimed that he knew where there was a clay tile, maybe back. I think we walked onto the property that you and your dad own now.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that if that tile was fixed, that area would drain. When you guys started doing making the existing area into a bigger pond, a pond itself, both of those, I don't know if you remember, both of those wetland areas dried up water-wise. You remember that? Maybe a year or two ago. Now, I don't know. I assume you're done with the pond, and there may or may not be an outfall structure or connected to some pond. Or you guys remember if you hit any clay?
No, I'm
Okay.
not aware that we hit any clay or found any outfall structure.
That did come up in the review process as well. I'm trying to find the note. I don't have I don't have Abin Marsh's response letters here, but I can tell you for sure. Let's see if I can find that.
Your pond doesn't drain into those two wetlands, right? Does it overflow?
No.
Yeah. So your water level.
If anything, it would go to the south over Kathy, the property owner, to the south driveway into her.
Yeah, and she was the one. I was out on a plank she had made because that water had crept over beyond her fence where she kept her horses back.
Yep.
and she was complaining about that. And
Drainage easement.
that's when I met with John,
Okay.
and he had indicated he thought he knew where, you know,
Mm-hmm.
where the problem might be.
I don't know the whole backstory of that, Rich, but I do know that on Golf Miner South Engineering Review number 2, I had written a comment that said the note number 2 about the suspected drain tile had been removed during the prior application for this project, but it had been reinserted.
Okay.
So I believe that drain tile and work related to it is still a part of the project.
Maintenance of the net
Well, then there might need to be an
in such area shall be the responsibility of the owners of the lots in which they are located.
Oh, okay, that's pretty broad. Okay, and then another thing for the record, looking at this, not only was there driveway utility easement, but also there's a conservation area and a drainage easement that pretty much covers that pond. I think what we can tell from the record is anywhere that pond touches any of the parcels, they are the responsible parties for maintenance of the pond.
Okay. So that would be more applicable to the south.
Yes. Anybody else have any other comments?
No.
Someone like to make a motion saying is similar conditions to the previous approved south subdivision?
Yeah, motion to approve, subject to comments similar nature to those of Golf South.
Second, please.
Motion second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And if I didn't read the record right, I think I read the wrong. Did I read the wrong number? But it's MI 2025-29. I was confusing it with the one.
Okay.
All right. So the way it is, we'll approve the primary plat, and once you've satisfied all the conditions, there'll be an inspection done, final review, and you can get your secondary after that. Yes, sir.
Does the time the 30 days, does that start ticking now, or does that start ticking when the review?
Thank you. That was my next question.
That's just for public comment.
Monica, what were you saying? Staff has 10 days to get out primary approval letters out to the adjacent property owners and also put it in the papers. And then once the mail goes out, that's when the start date will kick out for 30 days.
And what is the 30 days?
That's for additional comment.
Okay.
Public.
If anyone wants to appeal.
That's fine. That's a statutory 30-day.
But then the approval could be even beyond that until he satisfies the motions today.
Yeah, that's when you can submit for your secondary plat.
That's the earliest you can do it.
Before you can submit for your secondary plat, you'll have to have the deceleration lead, review the culvert requirements, the vision triangle, and anything else that was in your condition. That needs to be satisfied in the 30-day waiting period before you can apply for your secondary plat.
But he could bond for those public improvements and still get a secondary plat though too, correct?
Yes,
That's correct.
built or bonded for.
So can those travel along at the same time, or one needs to happen before the other one can start?
I think this is solely for public comment.
Yeah, he can be doing the work.
He could be doing the work if he got it all done. It's either the 30 days or answering the engineering, whichever comes last.
So they are kind of working in the same.
They could.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then so after the 30 days, is that the start of the 2-year shelf life? So we don't
Yes.
do this mess again?
Well,
No.
no.
That,
Today starts your 2 years.
It'll be today with those conditions. You've been that road before, haven't you?
yeah. Make sure we don't do that again.
But the key is if you want to move forward and get secondary plat, you could get a bond, post a bond for the improvements in the right of way, and then we could issue the secondary plat.
Okay.
If not, then we wait to do the improvements before you can get the secondary plat.
And there's a process associated with that. I'm assuming you don't want to go down that road, especially with you all self-performing the work. But if you did want to do that, you could reach out to me directly and we can get you started on that process.
Preferably not, but we'll see where it goes.
Just we'll work with you. Just keep us informed.
I appreciate you guys taking the time to review this again.
All right. Good luck.
Thank you.
Any other members have any other comments, staff?